what it was, we did a beetle drive game between 3 teams. So we had 3 tables of 4 people at each table, and then we each had a big dice and took turns to roll the dice, and when they had got a 6, you drew the body, and when you got a 5, it was the head, and 4 was the tail, 3 were the legs, 2 were the feelers, and 1 were a pair of eyes, or 1 eye, and then another eye. So we played that, but every time when somebody hit the number that they needed on the dice, so if they needed the 6 for the body, which took quite a while, believe it or not, in some cases, so if they hit the 6, then I was running around like a mad woman. We did it to the theme tune of the Benny Hill theme tune. But anyway, so yeah, it was a bit of fun anyway. It was a good afternoon, and it passed the time away, and people all that came in enjoyed it. It was a little bit of fun. Right, so I'm just going to carry on clearing up. Those are the 2 lemon cakes. So now I've got 1 for work, and hubby said he never made me a cake, so I'm going to be leaving 1 for him. I might even give him a slice and then freeze the rest and pass that on to family when I see them next. Right. What's everybody been having for dinner? Anything nice or tea, depending on where you live? One of the ladies that I work with, she said, "Oh, Sonia, you need to start telling your stories." I do have some real funny stories. You know, when you think it can only actually happen to me, sometimes it does. But anyway. I can tell you one story about my dentist, not my dentist personally, but a dentist that I was going to a few years ago. So during the lockdown, I didn't go to the dentist, so we missed a couple of years, I think about 3 years. And when I did eventually think I haven't been to the dentist in such a long time, I'll call up and see if I can get an appointment. Anyway, so as you do, you call the dentist and say, "Can I make an appointment, please? It's blah, 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 blah." And to which she replied, the receptionist replied, "I'm sorry, you've been taken off the books because you haven't been." And I was like, oh, okay. So I had to accept it, hadn't been, which was true. Anyway, so then I found another dentist, which was about 10 miles away, which was okay, but it's a bit of travel to get there. Sometimes you get stuck in traffic, so you've got to allow extra time to get there. And it's usually on a day I'm going to work. Anyway, so I've been using that dentist for a couple of years. Had Invisalign treatment on a private dentist locally to me, which I paid in instalments. And so consequently then went to go back to my old dentist, which was fine, the dentist that I go to that's 10 miles away. Anyway, advertised on the internet came up, new patients now being accepted on the NHS. So I thought, oh, that was my old dentist that was local, so round the corner. So I thought I'll try and book it online. It said inquire within and blah, blah, blah. So I filled in all the details, added all my email address and blah, blah, blah. And then it let me make an appointment. So I thought, oh, this is great, this is. So I'm back at my local dentist. So anyway, I then went onto my dentist that's 10 miles away and sent them a lovely message and said, "Thank you for letting me come to your dental practice and for all the treatment I've received over the years, blah, blah, blah. But I've been taken back on at my local dentist, so I'll be returning there," which just makes things easier because I live near there. So they sent me a message back and said, "Thank you very much, we'll take you off our books." I thought, right, great, so I've done a good deed, let them know, because I'd already got an appointment booked. So, as I'm thinking at work, I'm at work and I'm thinking, it's unusual that they had an NHS waiting, you know, a list that you could actually join and make an appointment. So, I thought, I better just ring and check. Anyway, I rang and said, "Hello, I've made an appointment online with an NHS, for an NHS appointment." And to which the lady replied, "Oh, it's children only." I was like, "Pardon?" She said, "Oh, it's children only. I don't know how it's allowed you to book it." I said, "Well, it's taken my date of birth. It's given me access to get onto your dental web page to book appointments, blah, blah, blah." Anyway, so she said, "No, I'm very sorry, it's children only." So I thought, oh, so there we are. So I've lost that one. So I've lost both. As it is, another another advert came up on the internet for another dentist, which is a little bit nearer, about 4 miles, and said I could be added to the waiting list, which I've sent him my name, address, contact telephone number and email address, and I waited about 4 weeks and they've sent me a message to say we're taking on NHS patients. So I'm really pleased with that. Anyway, so that's one bit of good news that came out of something that wasn't so good, but there we are. Anyway, NHS, we do struggle, don't we, to get on the dentist that's local to us, but there we are. Right, I'll just finish up here and I'll see you on the next video. Take care, have a good evening, and thank you for liking and subscribing and for helping me to get to 42 I think now. So thank you very much. Enjoy your evening and goodbye.